All right, the 2026 T20 World Cup is getting so close, and today we're going to put one of the most fascinating teams under the microscope, Bangladesh. Look, they've got a massive challenge ahead of them, but they've put together a really interesting squad, a mix of old hands and some seriously exciting new players. But you know, there's a lot more to this story than just what's happening on the field. So let's break down what really makes the Tigers tick.
So here's what we're covering. First up, their mission in what is a very tough group. Then we'll get into their batting firepower and their bowling arsenal. And to wrap things up, we'll look at the big picture, their strategy, and yeah, a little bit of controversy that could shake things up.
Okay, so the tournament's kicking off in India and Sri Lanka. But for Bangladesh, well, there's no easing into it. They've been thrown right into a super tough group stage, what a lot of people are already calling the group of death. Seriously, just getting out of this first phase is going to be a huge test of their character and their skill. And this is exactly why it's so tough. I mean, look at this lineup. They're facing two absolute T20 giants, the super explosive West Indies, and of course, a formidable England side. Then you've got Italy and Nepal in the mix. To have any chance of advancing, they have to be on their A game from ball one. No warm-ups here. So, the big question is, who's going to score the runs? Let's dive into their batting lineup. This is the real engine room of the team. And you know, it all starts at the top, with their captain.
And that man is Liton. He's got a ton on his plate. He's not just the captain, he's also the wicketkeeper and a crucial opening batter. I mean, think about that. He's carrying a massive amount of responsibility for setting the tone for the entire team, both with his strategy and right up front with the bat.
And yeah, this number right here, it really tells the whole story of just how important he is. We're talking over 2,600 runs in T20 internationals. That's not just good, that puts him in some truly elite company in Bangladesh's cricketing history. He is, without a doubt, the bedrock of this batting lineup.
But here's the thing, his role is about so much more than just the stats. When we talk about his balanced stroke play, what that really means is he's the anchor. He's the guy who provides that stability at the top, which then gives the big hitters around him the freedom to just go for it.
And believe me, he is definitely not a one-man show. This whole batting lineup has been put together with very specific jobs in mind. You've got Tanzid Tamim, the explosive opener, meant to get them off to a flying start. Then there's Parvez Hussein Ayman. Get this, he's the only guy in the squad with a T20 International 100. You've got the vice-captain Saif Hassan and Tawhid Hridoy providing that stability in the middle. And then, for the big finish, you unleash the power hitters Shamim and Sohan. It's a really well-designed, versatile unit.
Okay, but scoring runs is only half the game, right? You've got to be able to defend them. So let's flip over to the bowling arsenal. The question is, can they stop other teams from chasing down whatever their batters put up? And, you know, on paper, it looks like they've got a pretty potent and well-balanced attack.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Take a look at the composition of their bowling unit. 5 fast bowlers and 3 spinners. What does that tell you? It tells me they are really banking on pace to do the damage. And that's a pretty bold move, especially since the tournament is in India and Sri Lanka, where the pitches usually help out the spinners. It's a real statement of intent from them.
So you can really see the two-pronged strategy here. On one side, you have the pace battery. It's led by the world-famous Mustafizur Rahman and the experienced Taskin Ahmed, and they're there to attack, especially in the power play and at the end. Then, you've got the spin trio, led by the wicket-taker Rishad Hossain. Their job, to put the squeeze on in the middle overs and chip away with key wickets.
And speaking of that pace attack, we have to talk about its leader, Mustafizur Rahman. You probably know him as the Fizz. And let's be clear, he's not just Bangladesh's best bowler. This guy is one of the most in-demand T20 bowlers in the entire world. I mean, just look at that number, 150-plus wickets in T20 internationals. Think about that for a second. That's not just a record for Bangladesh. That is a truly world-class achievement. It just speaks to how consistent and how dominant he's been for years at the very highest level.
So what makes him so good? Well, it's all right here. His deceptive cutters and slower balls, those are just a nightmare for batters to try and time. And his skill in the death overs, those high-pressure final moments of an innings, that's what makes him truly elite. He's the guy you want with the ball in his hand when the game is on the line.
And this chart really drives home the point that the experience in this attack runs deep. Yeah, Mustafizur is leading the charge, but you've also got Taskin Ahmed in that 100-wicket club, and Rishad Hossain is climbing the ranks fast. This is not a one-man show by any stretch. This is a proven, dangerous attack that knows how to get people out.
All right, so we've looked at the batting, we've looked at the bowling,
Now let's kind of zoom out and look at the big picture. What's the overall game plan here? And maybe more importantly, what's this potential storm brewing off the field that could throw a wrench in everything?
This table right here gives you a perfect at-a-glance look at the DNA of this squad. You've got 7 specialist batters, supported by a bowling unit that is clearly leaning on its fast bowlers. Now that's a pretty modern T20 strategy, but it's also a big gamble. By banking on pace in subcontinent conditions, they're basically saying they believe their pacers are so good they can defy the conditions. We'll see if that pays off.
And you know, putting this 15-man squad together meant making some really tough, even ruthless calls. They had to leave out some big names, guys like Jakar Ali and even a former captain in Najmul Hussain Shanto. The message from the selectors couldn't be clearer. They are prioritizing current form and a very specific strategy over past reputation.
So, the plan on the field, it seems pretty clear. The squad is locked in, but cricket is never just played on the field, is it? And there's a pretty significant off-field problem that could become a massive distraction for the whole team.
And that problem revolves around one of the tournament's co-hosts, India. There are reports out there from major sources like Reuters suggesting that because of some diplomatic and security issues, Bangladesh might actually ask to have their matches moved to Sri Lanka instead. Now, this is a huge deal. It throws a giant wrench into all of their planning. We're talking travel, getting used to the conditions, team morale. It just creates this big cloud of uncertainty right when they need to be focusing.
So, it all comes down to this one big question, doesn't it? On one hand, you have a really well-built team with a clear plan, led by some bona fide stars. But on the other hand, they're in a killer group and are facing all this potential disruption off the field. Can their firepower on the pitch be enough to overcome all of these hurdles? Well, I guess we're all gonna have to wait and find out.